Okay, and then we'll sign.
Mhm.
First of all, by way of thanks to everyone in the room, and just to make introductions for our friends from the media who are here. On my left, Member of Parliament Bob Nault. We have Grand Chief Fiddler, Frank McKay from Wendigo Tribal Council. He's the CEO. Chief Kiwa Capo from Cat Lake. Just next to him, Roseanne Archibald, of course, the regional chief from the Assembly of First Nations. We have Deputy Chief Abigail Wesley from Cat Lake. We have Councillor Joyce from Cat Lake and Councillor Spence, all of us joining us here, and Head Councillor Spence. And we've done some good work. We acknowledge that Cat Lake has gone through some very difficult times, and we acknowledge the loss of a community member. When I heard the news of it and I called the chief, I not only acknowledged the loss of a community member, but was willing to postpone this meeting to allow the community time. And the chief and community said, this is important, and we will do both. We will mourn our community member, and we will carry on with the work that needs to be done. So, as I've mentioned many times before, I take my leave from the community, and we find ourselves here today. We have been working on for some days now the details of an agreement on housing, and that is what this deals with. Housing is so important, as I acknowledged in a housing announcement we made yesterday in Ottawa, and it is directly related to health. And the health issues right now in Cat Lake are ongoing. We know that housing is a contributing factor to health. We've had specialists, pediatric respirologists, and other health professionals over there over the past week. They are still going through their diagnoses, particularly of children, and associating children with houses as we come to determine what more we can do in the short term for the health of these children. This agreement here is about the short, medium, and long-term viability of Cat Lake. The agreement will take effect as of today. It is what we have called an interim framework agreement, and we will finalize a letter of agreement. Somebody got the good news already. We will sign a letter of agreement within the next 2 weeks. We're looking at possibly a date in the second week of March, where I will travel to Cat Lake and we will sign a more detailed agreement. But this framework will take into effect as of today. Chief, over to you.
Yeah, we had discussions as soon as the minister came in from Toronto this morning, and we went over the agreement, and then we added some immediate additions, and we sat up there until we came up with a document that was comfortable for all of us, and I consulted with my counsel, and we have a good working starting agreement, with the understanding that the second part of this agreement, we will call it memorandum of agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And all the concerns that we've been working on will then be added on to that next agreement for the long term. And this agreement mobilizes immediately some units and repairs, And we are trying to utilize the winter road window, which is not very. We have about 30 days at the most, so. And I'm happy to get this moving. Although we would have liked the response quicker, but because of it wasn't easy putting this thing together and working along with the minister and his staff. We hit roadblocks and differences of opinion, but I've been talking directly with the minister. We agreed to communicate directly and work out what we have today here. And to expedite the process, we called our colleagues here, Nan, Grand Chief, and Frank McKay, to assist us to make this happen now rather than later, so we don't lose any more community members, and begin the process of healing and getting better homes. And that's why we are here today. If my council want to make a comment.
I'd like to make a comment in term agreement that we had.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'd like to make an voice my appreciation what we had started here today. I think this today is a good day for us. We had finally, I think our voices have been heard, and we went to the parliament last week, and I'd like to say I'm hoping this continues to work with the minister who we're working with at the moment, because it is for the betterment of our community, and it's the future for our children and on the growing community, and we want a better living lifestyles of within the community, and not what we have at the moment. I don't want to mention what has happened a few days ago, because I have been working with the family directly, the one that lost the family member, so I'm not going to mention that, because it's really hard for me to see this had to happen. That's all I want to say. But I got other council members here that may want to say something, and I'm glad it's something we can work with, and something we have to let our community know once we get home. Thank you.
I wanted to say thank you for the minister for being here to meet with us as a leadership for Catholic First Nation. And, I want to thank him on behalf of the people in my community, on behalf of the children, on behalf of the elders and the young people. This is a long journey for us. There are days I didn't go to bed till 4, just boggling my mind, and it is an emotional roller coaster ride, is a better word for it. Are we going to be able to accomplish the things we need? Because our term is short there as well, but we want to be able to reach the help we need as leadership when we're there at our term. Because we are here for the people, and we are of the people. And I really want to say thank you for hearing us on behalf of Cat Lake First Nation. And it's a long journey. One journey ends today, and another one begins. and I hope that journey is going to be between the minister and the Catholic First Nation of Ontario. And it's a blessing. And I also hope that one day other First Nations around us will be able to get the help that we need. We are going to be opening doors for the First Nations because we unite as First Nations throughout the province because we are one. Chimigwech, Grand Chief and Deputy Grand Chief Frank McKay, Bob Noble, thank you all being here for supporting us on behalf of our nation. Thank you.
Thank you.